I'm Jane Ostrander, and I'm here from Truckee Meadows Community College. And I'm principal investigator of the Destination Problem-Based Learning Project. And Judy Fredrickson didn't make it today for they had car trouble getting over the hill. So, oh, that's fun. Isn't it always fun when they scramble the letters, when you switch platforms? Okay, so that word is agenda. So this is what we're going to do today, and basically look at PBL and talk about how it's used in various ways, where you might use it, and some resources that are available. So what the Destination Problem-Based Learning Project does is this is the third project where we've worked with problem-based learning and we advocate for it. We work with people like MPICT and other, and state and other National Science Foundation projects, as well as some non-National Science Foundation projects, to build community alliances. What we're out to do is change the way that teaching happens. And we provide tools to make it easier for you to make that happen. And what we have gotten, well, I'll talk about some of those tools in a moment. So we started out with exploring problem-based learning, and then we got to building the tools. And then we're at the point right now where we're looking at problem-based learning. And problem-based learning has many variations. And what I'm talking about when I say problem-based learning is a classroom or an environment of learning where the student is presented with a challenge before they're presented with a lecture. Okay? So you're starting with, you're a new software intern, and I want you to be able to create a program. Maybe it's the first day of school. And so it's up to the student to figure out what kind of information they need and how they find out about that information. That's one model. Another way of doing it is to have the lectures and then have the problem-based learning be sort of take it to the second half of, once they've got some basic learning, that they try it. Another way to do it is to have, sometimes they're very long, sometimes they're very short, sometimes they're very nebulous problems, sometimes they're a little more specific problems. So what we started looking at is, well, what does it matter? We're trying to pass the torch. We're trying to scale up the idea of problem-based learning as the normal way to teach. So we look at it and go, okay, so what is it that has to be there? There has to be a problem that engages people. There has to be facilitation. That's more about letting the student or the learner direct their own learning. And it's about courage. It's about the courage of the instructor who is teaching a different way than we might have been taught ourselves. It's about the courage of the student to try a different way of learning. It's about pushing the student and providing them the opportunity to try something they didn't think they could do, succeed at it, and take away that medal of honor, that moment of victory so that they can try something else. Okay, so research has found, as the saying goes, problem-based learning impacts knowledge. It's not just about let's get soft skills. It's about let's learn something better. It's about 21st century capabilities. How many of you were at the ATE conference? I don't know if you went to the PI conference, and we had a session on 21st century capabilities. That's another term for soft skills, entrepreneurial skills. What else has it been called? Professional skills, workplace skills. And it works on engagement. Students get into it once they get over the resistance. So what we think is going on is something called self-efficacy, You know, the idea that students are learning to believe that they can do it. And maybe even some of those little social psychological interventions that are going on where you can do things in the environment of the classroom that will help students understand that they can do something. So what does a problem-based learning classroom look like? It looks like all of these things. Sometimes you cry. Sometimes you have a headache. Sometimes it goes really well. This symbolizes all the different things. Often people butt heads, and sometimes it's a party. So it can be a very emotional experience. So I have some faculty here who do problem-based learning. And Elaine Haight, what does it look like in your classroom?
Well, one thing that might be different, they work in teams, and one thing that might be different from a regular classroom is I have each week I have one team at least make a presentation of their work in progress. So they have to stand up in front of the room and say, this is the way that we did it.